Welcome to C-Suite Sherpas, where we shine a spotlight on business experts and resources that you should know. So I'm excited to have today's guest, Suzanna Martinez, founder of PEO for the CEO. PEO for the CEO offers professional employer organization PEO and benefits brokerage services to small medium companies. Susanna, I'm thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Let's just jump right in, okay?
Okay.
All right. Can you give us a snapshot of what your business is and the major outcomes that you really get for your clients?
I'll start off by what is a PEO? You mentioned it's a professional employer organization model. And essentially, what a PEO does, it's a co employment model where a lot of companies, several thousands of companies, can join a large group to get buying power and economies of scale on health insurance, workers' comp insurance. It also helps companies grow and scale by helping them with their outsourcing of their HR, payroll, and compliance. I am an independent PEO broker. So for many years, I worked as an employee for different PEO companies. And I found that each PEO company wants to make the client fit in their box. And what I decided is I don't want anybody to fit in anybody's box. I want to just find what's the best solution for the client. So I'm an independent PEO broker. Believe it or not, there's over 800 PEO companies. I try to help find the best PEO for the client without overpaying in PEO fees. And if they've outgrown the PEO and it's no longer a fit for them, I help them unbundle that, helping them find a payroll solution, a benefit solution, and workers' comp solution as well.
Hmm. Okay. So describe who your services work best for?
Typically, I'm working with C-level companies that have 15 to 150 employees and anywhere in between. They're typically privately held. They have employees spread out, so different compliance when it comes to HR. So they have nationwide employees spread out. They also care about their employees and are currently offering rich or wanting to offer rich Fortune 500 benefits. They're just looking to maximize savings and reduce costs for their employees and themselves.
A question I used to have as an executive, and I would challenge our like head of HR or whoever on this, but a challenge I had is it seems like the PEO services can get quite expensive. So how does that kind of compare with, let's say, doing it ourselves?
It would just depend on your size and the type of resources that you have. And you need to keep an eye out on it. I always say if you're with the PEO company, you need to do due diligence on a regular basis because you can negotiate lower fees with your current PEO company as well. So oftentimes there's off savings on health insurance, workers' comp insurance. Doing due diligence, going to shop those if standalone products, because maybe it is time that you unbundle the PEO. But if you still see the value that you're still getting cost savings on the health insurance and on the workers' comp side, then perhaps it's just renegotiating your contract with your current PEO and their administrative fees that they're charging you. But typically, if you get to the point where you have internal HR staff to do a lot of the things that the PEO company is doing, and you have resources to purchase a software, really robust HRS software internally, then you have to outweigh, does it make sense to leave the PEO company?
Now, is that something you can help companies with, weigh the pros and cons and help them either way, let's say, that they
Yeah,
go?
absolutely. So I have access to a lot of different software and different companies that I broker out. Leaving the PEO model is what they need to do, and they need to look for an HRS system and a new payroll system. I will help them do that. I'll be there to support them. So I don't typically charge a fee for my services. The way I get compensated is either through the PEO company, payroll company, or the insurance company.
Okay, so you're like a registered broker with them.
Exactly. Yes, I
Okay,
become
great.
their broker of record.
Oh, okay. So what would you say sets you apart, your business approach from others in your space?
What sets me apart is I've been in the PEO business for many years, over 18 plus years. So I know the ins and the outs and what a lot of companies like and dislike as far as their risk appetite. So I really know, and I listen to my clients, I know when it's a good time for them to possibly leave the PEO, or you know what, maybe it's not you're happy where you're currently at. Let me help you negotiate with your current PEO. So
Okay.
oftentimes, a lot of the PEO brokers will just do PEO brokerage. And then the benefits brokers typically just do benefits brokerages. And so
Yeah.
I've combined it into two. I've become a PEO broker and a benefits broker. And whatever is the best solution for the client is what I bring to the marketplace. I'm not trying to make them fit in the box. It's really what's going to be the best solution without overpaying in fees and trying to get some cost savings when it comes to health insurance.
Okay, that's great. So, what is the biggest challenge that your industry faces, and how are you helping your clients to tackle that challenge?
One of the biggest client challenges in the PEO space, I've been in it doing it for a very long time, and we would typically see anywhere between 20 to 40% savings on the medical insurance by joining a large group. Sometimes you can get significant savings. It's just not as much as I used to see in the past because in the PEO world, their health insurance products are all fully insured. So the fully insured market is starting to get hit really hard. So clients are starting to see renewals increase and their deductibles increases for their employees. So not only are the premiums increasing, but the benefits themselves are no longer as rich as they used to be. We're finding that in the insurance market, a good solution is level funded or self insured for companies. And it's a way to control costs more than the fully insured market. I've found that sometimes, even if the client wants all the other services of the PEO, sometimes level funded might be a better solution because they'll have the option, if their group performs well, they'll have the option of getting some of that premium back at the end of the year. When you go with the fully insured market, whether it's with a PEO or not a PEO, you're not going to get any premiums back at the end of the year.
So, you really can help them over that, whichever major direction they choose to go. You can really be an objective kind of advisor for them.
I'm an objective advisor. I take a holistic approach and really find what's the best solution for my clients.
How do you see this field evolving over the next, say, 5 to 10 years? And how are you staying ahead of that? And here, I think a lot of our viewers are really interested in how is AI affecting your field?
The NAPEO, National Association of PEOs, says that nationally, PEOs have only penetrated like 10% of the market. So there is a huge upside to really grow and capitalize on the market. And with so many compliance in so many states, before in the past, it used to be if you have employees in California, or if you have employees in New York, that's the most compliance, and you should definitely outsource to a PEO. But now, so many other states are just evolving and becoming more compliant, lots of new laws, lots of new regulations to stay up to speed. And employers are just hiring where they find the talent. So let's just say they find a client in Colorado. Colorado has passed so many new laws that employers, it's a burden upon employers, and they're not going to,
Yeah.
there's no way to stay up to date with that. Whereas partnering with the good PEO company is going to help you stay up to date with all the different compliance of different state regulations and federal regulations as
Right.
well.
And how do you see AI affecting your field?
That's interesting. I'm not really
Yeah.
not quite sure where I see it. I have seen in the past since COVID, there's been a lot of companies that are trying to outsource the payroll and the HR overseas.
Yeah.
And I think it's very difficult. I prefer not to work with companies that do that because if your payroll person is asking you, what is PTO? That is a problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just be
That's a
aware
bit of
there
an
are a lot
issue.
of companies that are outsourcing overseas. And
Yeah.
I don't have a problem outsourcing some of the jobs, but when you're dealing with payroll and HR, I think you really need to keep it here in the States.
Yeah. Payroll is absolutely critical to a business. Yeah. You can't afford not to have mix ups in your payroll. That's a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, let's shake things up a bit. I want to do a lightning round, and
Okay.
this is really for our viewers to get to know you a little bit personally. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you just rapid fire questions and let you answer them. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
If you could only grab one weapon during a zombie apocalypse, what would it be?
Ew. Cyanide.
Very good. Uh, favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
People don't plan to fail. People fail to plan.
I love that quote. That's a great
Mm.
quote, by the way. Helped me in my career. So,
Mhm.
favorite movie or
Gone with the
streaming series?
Gone
Sorry.
with the Wind.
Yeah. Okay. That's a classic. Favorite book?
Gone with the Wind as well.
Okay.
I like a lot of
Uh,
self-help books though too.
those are always good. Last question. One bucket list item that you've already accomplished and one bucket list item that you have not accomplished, but as is at the top of your list.
I've actually backpacked through South America alone.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
for 8 months by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, at Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, Machu Picchu, Galapagos, and on a very shoestring budget as well. I would like to be able to go back on a not such a shoestring budget. But
Yeah.
actually, one of the biggest bucket lists that have always had since I was a kid is go to Egypt and see the pyramids.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I've always been fascinated with the pyramids, so
Me too.
great. Okay, the biggest and most important question, if our viewers want to get in touch with you and collaborate with you, what's the best way to do that?
You can find me at LinkedIn, Suzanna Martinez at PEO for the CEO. Feel free to message me there or send me an email at
Okay.
Suzanna, Suzana at PEO for the CEO.
All right, that's awesome. Susanna, thank you for your time and your insights today. It's been interesting and a pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.